Welcome to another episode on our channel. So sorry for being sporadic these days. This is a very hectic work year for me, so it's going to continue to be sporadic, but we'll do our best to try to keep up and film a lot over the weekend. So this figure is another Pure Arts figure, and you've seen my first Pure Arts figure just recently, Julianna from Deathloop. And I was going to use the head and body from that figure to customize a Broomhilda figure from Django. And then I got the figure and I said, wow, this is such a cool figure in and of itself. I think I'm going to keep it. I don't even know very much about the game, except a little more I learned about it today. But the figure was just amazing in terms of how it looked and the accessories that came with it. I decided to see if I could grab at a reasonable price the protagonist in the game, Deathloop, which is Colt. So Julianna is the antagonist and Colt is the protagonist of the game. Never played the game. Again, I just wanted the head and body of Julianna to make Broomhilda from Django. That didn't work out because I kind of fell in love with Julianna. So I have Colt, and it comes in this box. Now, what's interesting is this box is not very well made. But it came in another box. And it's very wobbly, shall I say. So whoever, however they put this box together, I don't know if it's the person who bought it who kind of put pressure on it, and maybe this sunk down a bit, and maybe they didn't tape it up right, although it doesn't look like it's been open. It looks like original tape. I have no idea, but this is a very flimsy box. Thank goodness it came in another box. So I'm hoping that the art box is in good shape, but when you know it, it probably isn't. And especially in the front where it usually goes wrong time and time again. I'm very surprised when the front part of the box is not damaged. I saw this on the secondary market on eBay, and unfortunately, right now, financially, Hot Toys figures are not appreciating, and that probably goes a lot to the economy not being strong, and also that they make a lot of these figures, when they come out. This is not a Hot Toys figure, but I think the same thing holds true with other competing toy manufacturers of 1/6 scale figures. They make a lot of these figures, and by doing so, they don't always appreciate. So I saw this on eBay, and as is my custom, trying to get a good deal. It was already listed at a good deal, but I made an offer that was $30 less than what it was listed as, and I didn't think, I thought we would get into maybe a little back and forth bidding, and I would just try to keep it as low as I possibly could. But within a day, they accepted it, which again tells you a little bit about what's going on in the secondary market. These things are staying on the secondary market for a long period of time, unfortunately. So there's no win-win, it seems. Yes, maybe I got it at a better price, but even so, 1/6 scale figures are not free. So it's not a win-win, a total win. It's a partial win. It's cheaper than I thought I would ever get it for, but it's still not a total win. If I could get it for $50, I'd be happy, but obviously that's not the case. So, but anyway, less than what I could have ever imagined. So let's just see what we have inside. Yeah, I don't think this has ever been open. It really just pops. Now, let's see. Oh, it's taped at the top like the other one was. It looks like things are in pretty darn good shape. And to me, this is a cool look. I don't know, it just reminds me of the 70s for some reason. You know, the orange carpets that we might have had. I had, my parents had actually. I remember those days. So yeah, it's that was kind of a cool time, a crazy time with what we wore and the colors we liked. But then again, the 50s were kind of strange too, right? In terms of colors. Although I liked some of the colors that cars came in the 50s and so forth. That stuff was cool. And the look of the cars, you know. I just like those kinds of cars. 50s, late 50s, early 60s. All right. So, oh, another this is like a postcard, Black Reef. That's apparently where the game takes place, on an island called Black Reef, and it's like a postcard. All right. So let's see what we got here. All right. So, yep. So this is Colt. Yeah. And it looks like the character in terms of the game, although I've never played it. I just seen a few videos of it. Yeah, he looks cool. So we'll pause. Let me get everything out and show you what he comes with. We'll be right back. We are back, and the weird thing was I was having trouble getting this off of the stand, and it is actually two plastic, I guess, covers for the stand. So a quality assurance thing got by somehow. Comes with a lot of hands. So we've got the closed, completely closed fisted hands. We've got some gripping hands, just your typical gripping hands and closed hands, fisted hands. We have trigger finger hands, just typical. This one looks like it may be used to hold the machete. I don't know. It's kind of has a more open feature with these two fingers, and this hand kind of has the thumb kind of arched over a bit, and then open hands. I mean, I really love open hands, but you can't overdo that because then you can't hold anything. And with these weapons, it would be a shame not to hold something. And then, of course, it comes with relaxed hands on it. So, and he is decked out really nicely. So it comes with basically some of the same things that Julianna came with. Walkie-talkie. It has computer discs or CD-ROMs that are very colorful. One's square and one's rounded. A machete, just like the other one. Has an extra pair of wrist pegs, which is always nice to have. And a shotgun. And nothing really moves on this one that I can tell. I don't want to mess with it too much for fear of breaking anything. The handguns, I think, are just absolutely super cool, as were Julianna's handguns. They do have removable magazine clips. It did remove. There we go. Very small. So it doesn't hold that many rounds, maybe 10. but very cool looking. All right. So what we'll do is get him in some sort of pose with whatever weapons I want to put on him. I'm not sure exactly yet. And then we'll get some close-ups from the bottom of the stand all the way up to the top of the head, side-to-side shots, or do a full rounded shot. Yeah. And then get close-ups of his head sculpt. We'll be right back. We are back. And the stand is identical to the one that, well, actually not identical, but similar. Bright orange and black, just two colors. Even though the orange is somewhat competitive with the figure, since there's orange in the figure, especially down here on the back, it's not as overwhelming as sun stands can be with 3, 4, 5 different colors competing with an outfit that only has a couple, 3 colors in it. So I'm okay with this. It has kind of that retro 70s look to me. So this was made in 2022. Now, the one bad thing was the quality assurance thing with the figure. There were 2 lids for the stand, and there was a missing knife. But I have a ton of resin knives that my husband has made, guns, that sort of thing. So I was good to go there. And the neat thing was that I didn't really have to mess to get this to snap around the handle part to put it in the sheath, because it's magnetic. So I didn't have to like unbutton it and button it back in, because usually when you do that, there's a little wear and tear that happens to something that's made out of some sort of fabric or faux leather, that sort of thing. So that was cool. Normally I would like to use an open hand on a figure, but with these 2 cool handguns, no, I had to put gripping hands on him so he could hold both handguns, just like Julianna holds 2 handguns. So Colt is holding 2 handguns. We'll pause now and get some close-ups from the bottom of the stand to the top of the head. We'll be right back. So there is the Deathloop stand in orange, bright orange and black. You can see his brown shoes. You can see the sheath on his right lower leg, and the knife my husband had found in the garage. We put it in there, and it does have magnetic kind of a thing to clip on to hold this knife in place up there. Brown pants. As we move up, you can start to see a little strap on the side of his leg. It doesn't really hold anything, but it kind of looks cool. The strap coming down from his jacket, different color of brown here, kind of with an orange hue, slight orange hue to the brown jacket. Some orange lettering on the right side, along with some yellow. The handguns that he has in his hands. There's some sort of pouch along his chest. I went ahead and put the walkie-talkie in there, slipped it in there. And I don't know if those are smoke grenades or whatever, but he has some ammo of some form or grenades of some form on his right below his shoulder. And of course that head sculpt. And he has kind of a slit in the eyebrow, not unlike Jason Momoa Aquaman, which is kind of cool. I don't know the significance of that, but it's pretty cool. The whole jacket is pretty cool. Emblems and so forth. So we'll pause now and do, I think, a full 360 so you can see everything on his jacket. It's just a cool jacket. I mean, from the strap hanging down and just the colors, something in writing here. Home, trust no one. He's got these, I think these are smoke grenades. That's what I'm guessing anyway. These wonderful 2 weapons. And just lots of medals and emblems and so forth. This one says pony on it. There's some numbers on this one over here. right in here. Anyway, it's just really interesting. On the back is really cool. It says dead dogs. Looks like a bomb. He's got a hood in the back as well. It's pretty cool. I don't know, it's just, I like it. Never played the game, but now it makes me curious about the game. We'll talk a little bit more about the game when we get in a rotating tray, but let's go ahead and get a close-up of the face. We'll be right back. I think you can see the split in his eyebrow more clearly and all the emblems and medals on his jacket. It's pretty cool. Good facial features. And there you go. So this is Colt Vahn. The daughter is Julianna Blake. She's the antagonist. He's the protagonist, even though they're both assassins. She's trying to protect the loop, and he's trying to destroy the loop. And I don't know the motivations that are driving each one of them to do that. But as I alluded to earlier, there are 3 outcomes to the game. You know, basically all 8 visionaries are killed to include himself, Colt, and the loop is broken, or Colt kills everyone but himself and the game resets the next day, or Colt keeps Julianna alive and that eternal loop keeps going again. So it's just one of those things, you don't know what's the best outcome, I guess, but there are 3 outcomes that could happen. You don't know if the loop is broken in this post-apocalyptic world, whether it's better or worse or what have you. You just don't know. Except those who have played the game will probably know if they've taken that route with the ending of the game. So it's just an interesting scenario. And it does remind me of that movie, Edge of Tomorrow, which came out in 2014 with Tom Cruise, Emily Blunt, and Bill Paxton. If you haven't seen it, it's a pretty good movie. At first I was kind of looking at it and saying, I don't know if I like this. It's like Groundhog Day, over and over and over again. I don't know if I'd like that. But it flowed well. The way they did the movie, it flowed very nicely, and I actually did enjoy the movie. So anyway, this is Colt Vahn. He's the protagonist of the game, and it looks to be an interesting game to only have the time to play it, right? Anyway, we'll be right back. So I brought back Julianna Blake, the daughter of Colt Vahn, in the game Deathloop. I hope you've liked what you've seen. If you have, consider giving us a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. In the meantime, everyone, please have a great day.